Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Raw. We are here in Albany, New York, coming off of the incredible PLE that was Backlash. We are jumping straight into the heat. We have some championship matches here tonight. We are going to go ahead and open up with a triple threat tag team action. We got the Bronze of the Vision. We got Los Payasos Locos. And we got the World Tag Team Champions Fraxium in a ladder match. First team to climb the ladder, pull those titles that are floating up in the air, take them. We'll leave here as the World Tag Team Champions. Of course, Los Payasos Locos coming up to the ring. They are the number one contenders to the World Tag Team Championships. Coming up next, we have Nathan Frazier and Axiom, the World Tag Team Champions. Fraxium here. So we have the number one contenders. We have the current champions and the third team in this matchup. We have from the Vision, the Bronze, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. They are the former champions, and they are activating their rematch clause. And they have inserted themselves into this matchup. It was Fraxium who basically said, we gonna have something in, we got something nice for you guys. No need to worry about no rematch clause. We gonna make sure you guys fit into the plans just fine. So we have some nice triple threat tag team action. The Vision versus Fraxium versus Los Payasos Locos. Opening matchup here tonight, World Tag Team Championship on the line. Very exciting matchup to go ahead and begin. And of course, it's not just one championship on the line. It is various championships on the line here tonight. So make sure you guys continue to stay tuned in because tonight is bound to be incredible. Again, we open up here with the World Tag Team Championships. Of course, we have Fraxium, two-time champions. The Bronze, one-time World Tag Team champions. And while Los Payasos Locos have not won the tag titles here within WWE, they are multiple-time AAA Tag Team champions. And this matchup begins, and it is about to be a mess. So first and foremost, I would like to apologize if I miss any of the action, if I stumble over names or words or mix things around. It is a lot to take here, so many things going on. So, I'm going to try to do my best, but I apologize beforehand as I don't know where to look. Inside of the ring, we have Braun Breaker doing some damage onto Pagano. And it looks like Psycho Clown wants to get a little bit of revenge right there for attacking his tag partner while he is able to do some damage quickly. Braun counters big forearm. Nathan Frazier now with an opportunity to do some damage onto Braun Breaker, who instead sends him out flying. Everyone's outside of the ring except for Psycho Clown and Braun Breaker. Both gentlemen inside of the ring looking to do some damage. You see Braun Breaker quickly gonna go for the ladder here, tossing it inside of the ring. Of course, the Bronze, as we mentioned, they are the former champions. They lost these titles at WrestleMania. It was a big disappointment for the Vision. They had an opportunity to hold the World Tag Team titles, the Intercontinental, and the World Heavyweight Championship all at once. It would have been the Bronze, Austin Theory, and Seth Rollins just decorated and full of gold, but WrestleMania did not go their way one bit as they left WrestleMania being championship-less as Braun Breaker tried to go for the titles. Axiom and Psycho Clown interrupting, making sure that Braun Breaker doesn't steal the victory there. And this matchup continues as both members of Fraxium doing some damage onto Psycho Clown. Nathan Frazier was trying to make a big impact right there. Psycho Clown able to move out of the way just in time. I see Axiom trying to fly, trying to do some damage onto Braun Breaker on the outside of the ring. Scoops him up and slams him down. Now back inside of the ring, Psycho Clown taking some damage by a steel chair by Nathan Frazier. Oh, straight to the torso, doing big damage. We take another look outside. I see big Bronson Reed being countered by Pagano, who sends Bronson Reed flying knee to the face of Nathan Frazier. Out of the camera's view, but I'm still able to see them pretty good. Camera zooms out very smartly so that people can actually see the action. As right here, Braun Breaker able to go ahead and counter Psycho Clown inside of the ring. Big Bronson Reed gonna set up the ladder in the corner. Big knees to the stomach of Pagano. Big damage being done by Braun Breaker right there as Nathan Frazier was trying to do some damage onto Braun Breaker. Onto Bronson Reed. Braun Breaker preventing that and instead gonna attack Nathan Frazier. He was defending his partner, but Axiom is also defending his as he goes ahead and does some nice damage onto Braun Breaker. And now looking to target Bronson Reed, knee to the face. And Nathan Frazier looking to send Braun Breaker over the top ropes. He is countered. Instead, it is Braun Breaker quickly met by Axiom. Psycho Clown having to deal with big Bronson Reed as Braun Breaker sends Axiom straight into the corner. Big forearm. And now big Bronson Reed setting up the ladder inside of the middle of the ring. And Nathan Frazier is going to look to climb it. Big Bronson Reed almost set up the victory for a different team. Luckily, Braun Breaker was there ready to, drop that ladder, making sure nothing happened. It is in the Vision's plans to go ahead and get back everything they lost at WrestleMania and that they couldn't achieve, like the Intercontinental Championship. They want to go for all of it. It all starts right here, so big Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker have a lot on the line that they cannot risk as Braun Breaker once again looking to climb the ladder. Nathan Frazier climbs the other side. These two going at it as Nathan Frazier with a nice punch now to the face. Trying to look for another, but Braun Breaker has already stumbled down. He falls down from the top of the ladder. Big Bronson Reed notices. And now looking to drop Nathan Frazier. And Payaso, El Psycho Clown, able to get it done. And I see a spear there by Pagano. So much is happening all at once as Braun Breaker sent over the top ropes. Inside of the ring, Nathan Frazier's just out. Psycho Clown and Bronson Reed going at it. Everyone is being destroyed at the moment as a big clothesline by Pagano onto Braun Breaker. And now, Nathan Frazier may be able to steal the victory as Axiom playing defense, but Braun Breaker trying to push the ladder down, and I think it was that kick from Axiom that ended up doing that final blow, dropping Nathan Frazier and allowing this matchup to continue. As now Nathan Frazier off of the top ropes, missile drop kick to the outside of the ring, straight onto the face of Pagano. Inside of the ring, Axiom is alone. Nathan Frazier is sent inside, and Pagano's going to follow Axiom with a nice missile drop kick. As now Braun Breaker being scooped by Axiom. Nathan Frazier looking to fly, big impact onto Pagano. And now Axiom looked like he was going to go ahead and target Braun Breaker, but big Bronson Reed interrupts. As now Nathan Frazier sent over the top ropes. Pagano is going to follow as Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are clearing up everything and anyone inside of the ring. The only thing they want is that ladder, and they only want themselves climbing it, as Bronson Reed may be able to go ahead and steal the victory right here to become the brand new World Tag Team Champions. Axiom, Nathan Frazier trying to save their title reign, trying to jump inside of the ring, trying to stop Braun Breaker from grabbing the titles, but they were a couple seconds too late, a couple seconds too slow, and just like that, maybe proving that WrestleMania was a fluke, as big Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, for the second time now, are your World Tag Team Champions. Congratulations to the Vision. Their first steps back onto success. They took 3 steps back, but with this, they're moving forward once again, and now they're about 2 steps from being able to start taking that control. They need that IC, the World Heavyweight Championship upper now. The celebrations begin as Big Bronson Reed and Mr. Braun Breaker get the job done. We have brand new World Tag Team Champions. Now up next, we have the Ring General Gunther. He has something he wants to say. Let's go ahead and hear him out. Now that I've retired Goldberg, there is only one thing I have in my mind. It was fun retiring all these so-called legends, but it is time that the Ring General Gunther goes back to owning the World Heavyweight Championship. So that is my next Paul Heyman interrupting. Let's hear him out. Gunther. You and me have one thing in common. We both don't want to see CM Punk as champion. But see, the thing is, you aren't in the plans of the Vision. You aren't in the plans of mine and Seth frickin' Rollins. So Gunther, I have a proposal for you. You stay away from the World Heavyweight Championship, and week after you come out here, I'll make sure someone answers your challenge and puts their career on the line. That is right, Gunther. You can continue to put people in retirement homes. You can continue to end off these legends. As long as you promise to stay away from the Vision's plans and the World Heavyweight Championship. So what do you say, Gunther? Would you like to accept this deal? Alright, Paul Heyman. Let's see who you bring out. I'll accept for now. And Paul Heyman doing business with the Ring General Gunther. As Paul Heyman wants him away from the World Heavyweight Championship and promises that week after week, whenever Gunther decides to come out, rather than going for the World Heavyweight Championship, someone who is willing to put their careers on the line will come out. As long as Gunther stays away, basically, what Paul Heyman is promising is more names to his already great list of the people he's retired, as long as he avoids the World Heavyweight Championship. And Gunther, as much as he does want to be world champion, it seems as though he's content with that. So he has accepted, but he did say, for now. This is very dangerous for everybody, because it's giving more control to Paul Heyman and the Vision. Of course, they just won back the World Tag Team Championships. They have a big opportunity to win the World Heavyweight Championship, at least strip it away from CM Punk, and now they're basically almost buying out their competition by having them be, distracted elsewhere. So, it's dangerous. They're gaining more control, and they're being able to push back those opponents who would normally be a big threat to them, like Gunther is to Seth Rollins and to the Vision, etc. So dangerous for the Vision in the sense that they could be taking over very quickly within the next couple of weeks. Of course, they almost had that full conquer and ruling over Monday Night Raw over WWE as of WrestleMania. Things didn't go their way. They kind of took a little hiccup. They slipped, but they've been picking things back up as they started off with the World Tag Team Championships. But I guess we'll see how things go for now. We have some women's singles action. We have Stephanie Vaquer against Nia Jax. Of course, Stephanie Vaquer, the first Raw after WrestleMania, got a Women's World Championship opportunity. Unfortunately for her, it was not her time just yet. She failed. Rhea Ripley, it was her first out of the fence. The chances of Rhea Ripley losing that match were as low as it can get. Rhea Ripley worked so damn hard to get that championship. She wasn't and isn't going to lose it anytime soon, but nevertheless, against two top superstars like Stephanie Vaquer, Nia Jax, even if it's not a number one contenders match, it can allow you to start heading down the right path to go ahead and earn another championship opportunity for either of these women. So I'm sure Rhea Ripley will be watching quite closely, so we'll go ahead and see how things go. Of course, Rhea Ripley was attacked back at the warehouse by Nikki Bella, so that may be next in line for Rhea Ripley, as Nikki Bella trying to skip the line, attack her, get under her skin to earn herself a championship opportunity. Most recent championship was alongside her sister, going ahead and winning the women's tag team championships. The Bella twins, AJ Lee, they're kind of, more on a part-timer sort of role. They'll be showing up here and there, but at the end of the day, they aren't in their primes anymore. As great as they are right now, as much as they can still win titles, they just aren't in their prime anymore. So, a couple more breaks here and there, trying to rest up the body and trying to... It basically just takes them a lot more energy, a lot more effort to do what they used to do so effortlessly back in the day. But it looks like Nikki Bella might be next up in line. We'll have to see, as it is being confirmed in my earpiece right now. We will be hearing from Rhea Ripley later tonight, so make sure you guys go ahead and stay tuned in. As for now, we pull our full focus onto this match. Nia Jax, Stephanie Vaquer, and at the moment it is Nia Jax doing some big damage onto the shoulder and neck of Stephanie Vaquer, who is still able to fight back right there. And now Stephanie Vaquer with a big boot to the face of Nia Jax. A big stutter, but Nia Jax quickly able to get up, and now Stephanie Vaquer going to send Nia straight into the corner. Nia Jax able to prevent any attack from happening right there. Stephanie Vaquer, Nia Jax now. Some back and forth action between the two ladies. Of course, Nia Jax is a former world champion. Stephanie Vaquer, on the other hand, here within the WWE, has not been able to reach those heights just yet, but she's made the move up. She's been fighting for those titles. She's kind of considered in that division. Of course, in NXT, she conquered, being the first woman to hold both the North American and NXT championships. So we certainly know that Stephanie Vaquer is very capable of being a champion. It's maybe just about building some momentum against people like Nia Jax, Io Sky, Becky Lynch, AJ Lee, so on and so forth. Building this momentum for Stephanie Vaquer in order for her to find her footholding, in order to find just what it takes to become a world champion here at the main roster. As at the moment, Stephanie Vaquer may be looking for the finish, a huge splash, and Nia Jax may be out. 1, 2, a kick out at 2. Stephanie Vaquer doing some enormous damage there onto Nia Jax. Gonna have to do a little bit more if she wants to put Nia away for the 3 counts, but very close. There is now another big stunner. Boot to the face by Stephanie Vaquer, and Stephanie is not done. Now gonna look for the Devil's Kiss. Where the hell is Booker T at, man? I'm sure he is watching closely as Stephanie Vaquer hits the Devil's Kiss onto Nia Jax. And now Nia finally able to counter. She was on the defensive end for quite some time. Finally gonna have an opportunity here to potentially get onto the attack. Maybe I jinxed her right there, as Stephanie Vaquer quickly putting things back into her favor. Devil's Kiss once again. The fans are loving it. Nia Jax isn't, because she has taken some enormous damage. And Stephanie Vaquer looking to fly off of the top ropes. Nia Jax able to move out of the way. And now Nia looks to send Stephanie Vaquer straight into the turnbuckle. Is able to do so. Nia Jax now off of the middle ropes. Stephanie Vaquer trying to interrupt, and well, Nia Jax kind of knocked her off for a bit. She didn't really position herself that well. Stephanie Vaquer managed to move out of the way as well, and ended up doing a little bit more damage to herself than she did to Stephanie Vaquer. Is now Stephanie with a crossbody off of the top ropes. Huge damage being done by Stephanie Vaquer. Is now once again gonna look for the Phoenix Splash to put Nia Jax away. That's gotta be it. 1, 2, 3. A kick out at 2 by Nia Jax. She may not be fighting in this matchup, but she is certainly still in it. She's not fighting back. She's not really defending. She's kind of just taking the hit. But she is still kicking out. Nia Jax showing she's still in this, and maybe she just needs a little bit of space to go ahead and get back into this matchup, as she is able to counter Stephanie Vaquer right there, center inside of the ring, a couple stomps, and this is the opportunity that Nia was looking for. An opportunity to go ahead and do some damage on, but Stephanie Vaquer quickly going back to being in control. Huge leg drop onto Nia Jax, and Stephanie Vaquer may be in trouble, as Nia Jax is just laid down on the floor. She's slowly getting up, but Stephanie Vaquer quickly awaits her. Nia Jax is able to counter, and this finally may be the opportunity. I hope I don't jinx Nia Jax, but she finally may be able to hit some big damage onto Stephanie Vaquer, and she does. Big slam into the pinfall, 2. A kick out at 2 by Stephanie Vaquer. This matchup continues, and Stephanie Vaquer is still fighting. Even after that big slam, Stephanie Vaquer wants to look for more. Nia Jax hit with a big backbreaker. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Stephanie Vaquer gets the victory over Nia Jax. She may have failed at the World Heavyweight Championship opportunity. She may have failed at the Women's World Championship opportunity. But against all these other folk, all these other superstars, she is still able to win. I believe she is undefeated here on the main roster in non-title matches. The only match she's lost, if my memory serves me correct, at the main roster level, is against Rhea Ripley for that Women's World Championship, which is incredible. And Stephanie Vaquer continues winning and continues proving that she's just a couple steps away from being able to crown herself a world champion. Forget the IC United States Championship. Stephanie Vaquer wants the biggest prize of them all. And while Rhea Ripley came out on top in their first bout, I'm sure next time Stephanie gets an opportunity, she's going to do more to make sure that changes the second time. But now we have our World Heavyweight Champion, CM Punk. He has something he wants to say. Let's go ahead and hear him out. Brock Lesnar, we can come out here week after week talking, maybe some face-to-face action, but I don't think either of us want that. I don't think the fans want that. Forget trying to build up to a PLE next week. Me and you, my World Heavyweight Championship. Good luck, buddy. You're gonna need it. And CM Punk sending his message short and simple. It is confirmed that next week we will be seeing Brock Lesnar, the Beast in Carnage, face off against CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk does not want to build to no PLE. He does not want to yap week after week, a couple face off, and try to make this feud better. It is already at its peak because we have two big giants facing off against one another. And it is confirmed that next week we will be seeing those two in action. Of course, here tonight we will still be seeing more championship matches. I think actually maybe just one championship match. And if you guys watched the last episode, then you should know exactly what's going on here. As we got the AAA Mega Championship on the line in the main event. We got El Hijo del Vikingo trying to get back his title for the third time against the current champion, Dragon Lee. It's going to be a interesting matchup, of course. Dragon Lee was not only able to beat El Hijo del Vikingo, he has also defended his championship against him twice already, as he's been doing that over at AAA multiple times. So this is kind of like their fourth matchup. Dragon Lee has been able to beat El Hijo del Vikingo on all three. Many could say, like, this is it. Like, Dragon Lee's going to win quickly. But I do want to say this. Before WrestleMania, when Gunther was World Heavyweight champion, when he was World Heavyweight Champion, and he was facing off against Jey Uso, that was their fourth battle against each other, their fourth match against each other. And Gunther was 3-0 against Jey Uso, and it was a fourth that went ahead and made the big impact, as Jey Uso was able to go ahead and get the victory. Now, I'm not saying that Gunther and Dragon Lee are alike. I'm not saying that Jey Uso and Vikingo are alike, but I'm just saying, just because they won the first three matches does not mean you should instantly count them out for the fourth. Maybe after the fourth, start counting them out, but we've seen it before with Jey Uso. He's been able to win, so maybe he can go ahead. I mean, maybe Vikingo can go ahead and get it done again. Not comparing them, but just saying, it's a possibility. So make sure you guys tune in, because I'm starting to rap and twist and just kind of not realize what I'm even trying to say anymore. But anyhow, up next, the match has already begun as I'm just yapping and not focused. We have some tag team action as we got the Secret Harvest off against Fatal Influence. Jasmine Nix, JC Chain struggled in their debuts here at the main roster in the singles action. Now, since they're here together on Raw, they're going to be jumping into some tag team action quite consistently. Fallon Henley, on the other hand, in the SmackDown brand, the Blue brand, will have to stick to the singles game. But here tonight's looking to actually get a victory, rather than, keeping off the bad sort of streak that they've been getting from singles action, as all three members of Fatal Influence lost their debut matches in their respective brands and in the main roster. So here tonight, JC Jane, Jasmine Nix trying to change that for the better, going ahead and getting a victory in some tag team action against the Secret Harvest. Of course, we have brand new women's tag team champions in Natalya and Maxine Dupree, the Dungeon Dolls. So I'm fairly sure with new champs, we also got some new challengers, and one of these two teams could go ahead and be the first with a couple victories, start building up that resume, could go ahead and make the call for a championship opportunity. So very crucial matchup for both teams. Fatal Influence wanting to start getting some victories here on the main roster. On the other hand, Secret Harvest and also, I guess, Fatal Influence trying to get an opportunity at Future Tag Team Gold. As right here, a quick roll-up pinfall by Jasmine Nix. Piper and Evan quickly able to go ahead and kick out of things right there, as now Jasmine Nix sent straight into the turnbuckle. Piper and Evan was trying to do some big damage, but Jasmine Nix able to move out of the way as she now sends Piper and Evan straight into the turnbuckle. Now this time Piper and Evan able to counter, now sending Jasmine Nix face first onto the floor. Piper and Evan now may be able to go ahead and secure the victory very quickly. She wants to put an end to this. Jasmine Nix may be in trouble. Big slam and into the pinfall. Jasmine Nix is there before the referee can even count to one. JC Jane is there, breaking the count before the referee can count to one. Alba Fire now looking to attack Jasmine. JC, oh my days, I'm just doing horrible. Now looking to attack Jasmine. And as JC Jane is not able to break the count, the Secret Harvest may get the victory here. Yes, they do. Congratulations to the Secret Harvest. Of course, the leader, Chelsea Green, very happy with this victory for Alba Fire and Piper and Evan. And unfortunately for Fatal Influence, the losing streak continues. It follows them into tag action, and they are having difficulties finding their way into the main roster. They were decently dominant over in NXT. Fallon Henley, former NXT North American champion, but as for now, here in the main roster, have now not been able to find their place just yet. But for now, We focus on the winners as they celebrate. The Secret Harvest get the victory. I'm sure the women's tag team champions are watching, and they'll be keeping their eye out for the Secret Harvest. Maybe get a future championship opportunity. But for now, we must keep moving forward as we go ahead and have another matchup underway. This right here, we got some men's singles action up first. Former Intercontinental Champion Dirty Dominic Mysterio, el sucio de los sucios. Here he comes. He is here in some singles action, accompanied by Raquel Rodriguez, JD McDonough, and Liv Morgan. Of course, representing the Judgment Day. Dirty Dom is here tonight trying to get some action done, trying to get some work done, you know. Things haven't gone the worst, not the best for Dirty Dom. I think he's definitely struggled, of course. I feel like it really started when Finn Balor left the Judgment Day, you know. Dirty Dom lost his Intercontinental Championship. He lost rematches for it, you know. He's been kind of lost when it comes to title. On the other hand, he has had some wins. You know, he has had his moments. It's very mid, I would say, you know. He's been in number one contenders matches. For example, the AAA Mega Championship opportunity where it was Penta, him, and El Hijo del Vikingo. Failed at that, but the fact that he's getting there is showing something. So, Dirty Dom has been in a very middle spot. For sure, right? Hasn't necessarily been the worst, not the best, and I keep saying this about many superstars, many tag teams, because it's true. A win here tonight can go ahead and change that all. It's all about, you know, getting some routine going. You don't gotta be perfect and win every single match, but it's just about being a little bit more consistent, and maybe a victory here can go ahead and allow Dirty Dom to go ahead and find that. But his opponents, the Celtic Warrior Sheamus. Well, it's not going to be an easy task for Dirty Dominic Mysterio. As Sheamus, I feel like he's been doing pretty good. He's certainly been on a quest to go ahead and become a Grand Slam champion. I feel like that's what's, you know, holding him back. He wants that Intercontinental Championship so bad that he really isn't able to focus. Like, I feel like if he simply, you know, let go of that and kind of just focused on himself and being good again consistently, the IC Championship would eventually come, or those opportunities would come, you know, as a result of that hard work, of the dedication. I'm not saying he's not working hard, but I'm saying if he just focus on himself rather than trying to just go straight for the reward, straight for the result, he could definitely be doing a little bit better. But who am I to talk? I'm just a commentator. I don't want him to hear me saying that because he could very quickly go ahead and shut me up. Definitely very capable of doing that. I am not a wrestler. Never claimed to be a wrestler. Will probably never be one. But it is alright. We have Dirty Dominic Mysterio, Sheamus. Our next matchup here tonight, some singles action. Of course, Dirty Dom has already a bit of an advantage. Yes, Sheamus is the more experienced superstar. But as we mentioned previously, Dirty Dominic Mysterio is accompanied by the Judgment Day. You got Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, JD McDonough, three superstars who are very willing to get involved in anybody's match in order to kind of skew things into someone's favor. And here tonight, as Dirty Dominic Mysterio is in this matchup, I'm sure they'll be looking to get involved if things aren't looking in his favor, and I'm sure they will, even if they are looking in his favor, because that's just the way the Judgment Day moves. So kind of bad for Sheamus, you know, numbers game advantage towards Dirty Dominic Mysterio, but I'm sure the more experienced Sheamus will definitely still be able to get things done here tonight. I do think Sheamus can get the victory. We'll see how things go, as for now, at least you're going at it with some back and forth action. Dirty Dominic Mysterio And Sheamus, and oh, it is Dirty Dom. Oh, it's a nice little diamond cutter onto Sheamus, and now off of the top ropes, looking to hit a nice splash, and out into the pinfall. 1, 2. A kick out at 2 by Sheamus, but very quickly I've been getting shut up as Dirty Dom is actually the one taking control of this matchup and doing very good as he once again looks for the pinfall. 1. A kick out at 1 by Sheamus. And now Dirty Dom going to go straight back into the pinfall this time, trying to use the ropes as a bit of a weight, a bit of a helper. Sheamus kicking out at 1 once again. But Dirty Dominic Mysterio is not finished there. He's going to look to do some more damage. Sheamus picks up Dirty Dom, sends him flying over his shoulder. Finally, Sheamus able to get some damage done, but Dirty Dom quickly. Oh, Dirty Dom is looking good here tonight as he hits a nice missile dropkick onto the face of Sheamus. And he is doing very good of not only doing damage, but taking control of this matchup. Anytime Sheamus wants to do anything, Dirty Dom is ready to go ahead and interrupt and, kind of show who's bossing who in this matchup. And Sheamus is struggling. And not only is he struggling, he is bleeding. I believe his face has been cracked open. He is bleeding. And Dirty Dominic Mysterio smells blood and may try to go and look for the final nail in the coffin as off of the top ropes. Gonna look for the frog splash, connects. And Sheamus may be out. 1, 2, 3, and what a match by Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Such a dominant matchup. I was talking about on paper, Sheamus, more experienced, seemed as though he would be the one winning the matchup. Dirty Dom not only shut me up, he freaking, sewed my mouth closed because he was so dominant. There was no chance of Sheamus truly winning. What a great look from Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Still so young. Still hasn't hit his prime. And the way he's been able to move here tonight, it is getting me excited for the future. And knowing Dirty Dominic Mysterio, this is maybe the victory he needed to go ahead and start moving forward onto bigger and better things. Maybe fighting for the IC Championship once again. I'm not sure if anyone would want to fight Obafemi, to be honest, but congratulations to the Judgment Day, to Dirty Dom. A huge victory and an incredible matchup, win or lose after a matchup like that. I mean, just astonishing. So, very proud of Dirty Dom. Judgment Day didn't have to get involved. So, good for them. We have Rhea Ripley. Let's go ahead and hear her out. So, Nikki Bella, you want to go ahead and attack me? I know exactly why you're doing it. You want a championship opportunity. Well, you'll get one. Not so quickly, though. Next week, I'll set up a match. Number 1 contenders. If you win, you'll face me. But good luck. It'll be a big challenge. And Rhea Ripley letting Nikki Bella know, I know exactly what you want. I'll give it to you. But you're definitely going to have to work for it a little bit. As we got a number 1 contenders matchup next week. Nikki Bella, basically, it's win and you get a championship opportunity. Lose and you are out of here. So we'll see how that goes for Nikki Bella next week, and we'll go ahead and see who her opponent is. But for now, we have the visionary, the revolutionary, Seth freaking Rollins in action. The leader of the Vision, accompanied by Paul Heyman and Austin Theory. Tonight has been an episode full of the Vision. Of course, we opened up, we saw the Brawns win back the World Tag Team Championships. Then, of course, we had Paul Heyman handling business very well, making sure that Gunther does not get involved with the World Heavyweight Championship. Also very excited to who Paul Heyman is going to be able to convince to go ahead and basically put their careers on the line for Gunther. And now, we have Seth Rollins in action here tonight, as Seth Rollins He's definitely a happy man. Brock Lesnar next week will have the opportunity to go ahead and strip that title away from CM Punk and at least be in the hands of someone who is very close to the Vision, who can still help the Vision, unlike CM Punk. Of course, they just won back the World Tag Team Championships. I'm not sure if the IC title is still really in their plan as of right now with a beast like Obafemi. I don't think anyone could beat that title off of him for now, so maybe they're putting a pause on that. We'll have to see, but here tonight, it won't be no easy challenge for Seth Rollins as he is in some singles action here tonight. As the Demon Finn Balor is also in action. Demon Finn Balor, a lot like Stephanie Vakir, got the opportunity at a World Championship. The Raw left WrestleMania. Finn Balor also got that opportunity. Also failed, but also knows, he can just build that momentum up. He just needs, that final couple steps, the final piece of the puzzle to go ahead and become a world champion once again. It is going to be difficult here against the architect, the revolutionary, the visionary, Seth frickin' Rollins, as of course he also has Paul Heyman and Austin Theory in his corner. But, the risk is big here tonight because a loss would hurt him. But the reward is also very big for the Demon Finn Balor. So big matchup here as the Demon Finn Balor faces off against Seth frickin' Rollins in some singles action. Still to come later tonight, of course, in the main event, we will be having the AAA Mega Championship on the line. El Hijo del Vikingo gets his third opportunity at a rematch of trying to get back that Mega Championship against the current champion, Dragon Lee. But for now, we go ahead and focus on this match. Seth Rollins, Demon Finn Balor. Huge matchup. Who will go ahead and leave here as the winner? And of course, this is a big boost to, the World Heavyweight Championship rankings. I do have a question. Brock Lesnar, of course, I would almost consider him honorary part of the Vision. If he wins next week, and let's just say Seth wins this match, Seth would be very close to the number one contender. Is he just going to allow Brock to be champion? Or is he going to want to go for the title? Is Brock going to vacate it and then just allow the number one contender and former champion to battle it out? I wonder how they're going to work that out. You got two big monsters helping out the Vision like Seth and like Brock. Sometimes egos get in the way. Sometimes egos get hurt. So I wonder how that's going to go ahead and work out. Of course, Brock would have to win and Seth would have to win tonight. So both men would have to be on top of their game and win their matches for any of us to even try to find out what happens there. But it's a possibility that maybe these start, some cracks within the Vision on maybe there's two leaders and people got to decide where they're going to head. I don't know. Maybe I'm just putting things out there and trying to break off a team that has no problems and that won't be breaking up. But it's just a thought that came to my mind that if Brock wins, Seth wins, you have a champion and a very high contender in Seth Rollins, but both part of the same side, kind of the same team. Anyhow, let's just go ahead and focus on this match. Let's focus on what is happening, what will happen, and really what could happen, if that makes sense. As the Demon Finn Balor right here is going to go ahead and look to fly off of the top ropes. Missile drop kick straight onto Seth Rollins and into the pinfall. One very quick kick out by Seth Rollins as this matchup now jumps into some back and forth action. Seth Rollins, the Demon Finn Balor going at it as both men want to leave with a victory here tonight. And Seth Rollins returning the favor. Now the Demon Finn Balor, who will go ahead and win this little back and forth. And who will leave here as the winner between these two giants. A big boot to the face by Seth Rollins allows him to go ahead and come out on top of that back and forth action. And now a big knee drop straight to the face of Finn Balor. as Seth Rollins has had more success with world titles as of recent compared to Finn Balor, who hasn't won one in over 10 years. And of course, that one time he did, it was against Seth Rollins. Uh-oh. Everything went black and the Demon Finn Balor is now behind Seth Rollins, using his black magic to now get onto the attack. As I was saying, of course, Finn Balor, if my memory serves me correct, won that Universal Championship against Seth. It was Seth who injured him. He had to vacate it less than 24 hours after his match. He was literally only champion for basically a day. Referee distracted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was a victory for Finn Balor, but it was the Vision, Paul Heyman, who distracted the referee and allowed Seth Rollins to stay in this matchup. So basically what I was trying to say with the Universal title, it was basically Seth Rollins who gave but also stole a world championship away from Finn Balor, only allowed him that one night, and now, Finn Balor may be in trouble as a pedigree. And now Seth Rollins definitely going to look for that stomp, as now he sets it up and he connects with the stomp. Finn Balor maybe out into the pinfall. 1, 2, and a kick out of 2. Finn Balor still in the matchup. And Seth Rollins going to have to do a little bit more if he wants to put Finn Balor away, as now Finn Balor fighting back. And Finn Balor with a big opportunity here, but once again the Vision distracting him. He's still on the attack, but that is the advantage of having Paul Heyman, of having Austin Theory in your corner. They can get involved, remove paddings off of turnbuckles, maybe throw a kendo stick. But the other thing is just talking some smack and pivoting the opponent's focus onto something else, as Finn Balor may win the match. 2, Seth Rollins able to kick out, but both men have done some big damage. Both men are still very much in this matchup, and that is to show just how incredible both of these men are, as Seth Rollins back onto the attack, doing some nice damage onto the back of Finn Balor as he now rises slowly. Seth Rollins quickly meeting him, sends him over the top ropes flying, and now Seth Rollins with a Phoenix Splash off of the top ropes onto the concrete floor. Big damage being done by Seth freaking Rollins, as now was looking for an elbow drop. Finn Balor able to move out of the way. So is Seth out of the way of the missile drop kick. Finn Balor being sent straight into the turnbuckle. Straight into the steel steps. And Seth Rollins continues his attack on the outside of the ring as the referee's count now gets to 6. Finn Balor quickly gets up, and Austin Theory getting involved. That could be a disqualification. Austin Theory sent inside of the ring. Referee's count gets to 8 just in time. Finn Balor makes it. And Austin Theory heads out, talking some smack to the fans who aren't happy as he's trying to get involved. Finn Balor once again on the outside of the ring. Referee's count gets to 2. He's already standing, so surely he'll be able to get inside of the ring in time, but he was definitely shucking up right there. Maybe close to his end, as Seth Rollins also playing my games. Was kind of showing off right there as Finn Balor was getting inside of the ring, and Finn Balor may be in trouble as Seth Rollins was looking for the stomp. Finn Balor able to counter for a bit. Seth Rollins is able to get a kick in there, but preventing what would have been more damage from the stomp. However, a pedigree is still able to connect. And now Seth Rollins sees the opportunity to connect a second stomp of the night. And the one that may secure the victory connects. Is this enough to get the win? 1, 2, 3. Yes, it is. Seth freaking Rollins with the victory. And the Demon Finn Balor held out strong. He fought very hard. But in the end, it was Seth Rollins with a big help from Paul Heyman, from Austin Theory, some distractions, some pulling, some tugging from Austin Theory, which gave a bigger advantage to Seth Rollins and allowed him to go ahead and secure the victory here tonight. Congratulations to the Oracle, the Wise Man. Congratulations to Austin Theory, to the Bronze, and of course, congratulations to the leader of them all, the Visionary, the Architect, the Revolutionary, Seth freaking Rollins. The Vision may have slipped at WrestleMania, but post-WrestleMania, they are certainly gaining back what they lost. Finn Balor, thank you for coming, but you were not able to get the victory here tonight. And next week, Brock Lesnar with an opportunity to strip the title, the World Heavyweight Championship, away from CM Punk. So that's going to be a big matchup to come next week. But for now, what we do have is the AAA Mega Championship on the line. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the main event of the evening. Introducing first, we have the AAA Mega Champion. Dragon Lee has held this title for quite some time. I don't remember exactly when. I'd have to check my stats, and even then they may be a little off. I don't even remember when we held Saturday Night's Carnage. I can't remember if John Cena was even still there. Okay, so I'm thinking this is around, he won this around November, October. Yeah, I think it was around October he won this championship. We are now in May, so you got October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. That is 8 months, 8 times 3,240 days plus, already as AAA Mega Champion for Dragon Lee. That is incredible. And well, here tonight, while that reign is at risk, of course we do gotta mention that Dragon Lee has already defeated El Hijo del Vikingo multiple times. So, as much as I was talking about, it is possible for El Hijo del Vikingo to win here tonight. It is also very possible that if you already won the first 3, you can go ahead and easily win that last one, the 4th match. So we'll see if this over almost, I think I could say 250 plus days as AAA Mega Champion reign continues for Dragon Lee. He's here tonight for the 3rd time in his title defense against El Hijo del Vikingo. No, 3rd time defending his title against El Hijo del Vikingo. There we go. Those are the words I was looking for. 4th time facing off against him within WWE territory. I'm not sure if they faced off before AAA was owned by WWE, to be honest. But they faced that first time where at Saturday Night's Carnage, where originally it was Dragon Lee who won the title. Defended it twice. Now here tonight, trying to add another successful title defense. El Hijo del Vikingo, of course, winning this title twice. Combined time of over 900 days between those 2 reigns. The first one was around 800, and he had to vacate the title. He never even lost it. Second time coming, he did lose it. That was to Dragon Lee, but even then, that was over 100 days as champion. So it was still a very successful title reign, multiple defenses. Here tonight with an opportunity to go ahead and become a 3-time AAA Mega Champion. Dragon Lee trying to add some more, I guess, names to successful title defenses to his already prestigious title reign. First time this title is being defended here on Monday Night Raw. It's already been defended on the channel again, Saturday Night's Carnage. First time, though, as Dragon Lee as champion. And here on Monday Night Raw, but we go ahead and begin this main event here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. El Hijo del Vikingo, Dragon Lee. The AAA Mega Championship, of course, We've already mentioned it, but just to state it clear, we have Dragon Lee. He is the current AAA Mega Champion. He has promised that he wants to end this match quick. He wants to basically tell Vikingo, you should never challenge for this title again. Because sure, I will be beat sometime, but you won't be the one to beat me. And we see Dragon Lee showing that very quickly as he very fast went for the pinfall and very quickly doing lots of damage. Of course, the number one contender to the AAA Mega Champion, Vikingo, former champion, has held it twice, wants to make it a third, has been struggling against Dragon Lee. Will those struggles continue? For now, it seems as though they might, as Dragon Lee doing a very good job. Double X handle off of the top rope. Big damage being done by Dragon Lee. As now Dragon Lee looks to grab El Hijo del Vikingo. Sends him inside of the ring. And now Dragon Lee was looking for a stomp right there. El Hijo del Vikingo looking for the clothesline missile drop kick from Dragon Lee. Misses these two. Very fast-paced action. Ducking and dodging one another's moves. Just right there, Dragon Lee able to move out of the move of El Hijo del Vikingo. And now Dragon Lee, El Hijo del Vikingo, into some back and forth action. Dragon Lee, El Hijo del Vikingo, who will leave this match and who will leave Monday Night Raw as the AAA Mega Champion, as these two keep going at it. Back and forth action. Vikingo struggling, a big smack drops him down as Dragon Lee is feeling it. He wants to put this match away nice and quickly. Dragon Lee already maybe charging up the finish, and El Hijo del Vikingo may be in trouble as a huge stunner by Dragon Lee. And now gonna look for a second. El Hijo del Vikingo may be finished. No, he is able to counter. Instead, El Hijo del Vikingo finally doing some damage, slamming down Dragon Lee very harshly into the pinfall. 1, 2, a kick out of 2 by Dragon Lee. Finally, El Hijo del Vikingo able to get some attack in this match, but quickly Dragon Lee, the champion, who wants to make sure that El Hijo del Vikingo never challenges for this title again, gets back on the attack. And all like Dirty Dominic Mysterio is just dominating this matchup off of the top ropes. A huge slam down and into the pinfall. 1, 2. And Dragon Lee decides he wants to do a little bit more damage. If he wants to send that message clear of never challenge for my title again, he is definitely going to have to do a lot more damage. And Dragon Lee wants to do exactly that as he places El Hijo del Vikingo on the top corner, on the top turnbuckle. Now, oh my day, sends him flying. Huge damage being done to the back of El Hijo del Vikingo. Dragon Lee now finishes now a big splash onto the body of Vikingo. Dragon Lee is dominating. Now gonna look to fly from 4 and still connects. El Hijo del Vikingo is in trouble. He is taking lots of damage. And Dragon Lee shows no signs of stopping as he moves out of the way of that missile drop kick from El Hijo del Vikingo. Gonna look for the finish, big stunner. That's gonna be it. 1, 2, 3. Yes, it is. Dragon Lee, in a very dominant fashion, able to go ahead and secure the AAA Mega Championship. Another successful title defense. This is like his 7th or 8th in this title reign. 3rd against El Hijo del Vikingo. In a very dominant way, he gets it done, sending that message that, hey, Vikingo, you were champion before. I'm the new champion. Someone's going to beat me, but it's not going to be you, so stop trying. And I think that message has been sent as we have it here, ladies and gentlemen. Dragon Lee is still the AAA Mega Champion. Congratulations to him. Still on top. Still holding that gold. And ladies and gentlemen, next week we begin Money in the Bank qualifying matches. And yeah, that is it for now. We will see you guys over on SmackDown. Thank you so much for tuning in.